Good afternoon. I'm Erica Sargent.
And I'm Joe Donlin. We wanted to bring you a quick inauguration update. The new mayor, Brandon Johnson, is about to greet new well-wishers at a City Hall open house that has just begun.
Our cameras were there when Mayor Brandon Johnson arrived for the first time a little less than an hour ago. The first voice to greet him, our Chris Ty.
Mr. Mayor, how does it feel? Pretty good?
Feels pretty nice.
Congratulations.
Let's get to Chris Ty and our political investigator Dana Kozlov live at City Hall. Beginning, Dana, with you. We heard this a lot today, the phrase new start.
Right, new start, working together, and the new mayor, Brandon Johnson, saying he was humbled and honored to be on that stage, but he knows there is a lot of work ahead of him, especially when it comes to accomplishing the goals that he promised on the campaign trail. That, of course, is for later. Right now, today, is for making that transition into office and meeting folks. He headed here for the first time to City Hall as mayor, as you guys just mentioned, at about 1:15, pretty much right after the inauguration ceremony wrapped up. He came in the west side doors of City Hall. He talked to Chris, my colleague, very briefly, said it feels nice. His family also came here, and he headed up to the 5th floor, an office which is now officially his office, where he is expected to stay for a while and talk to voters. But again, no specifics today in his speech about exactly how he plans to accomplish his goals. That's something he's going to likely begin tackling immediately, and also discussing with the city council when he presides over his first city council meeting next week. But right now, I want to throw it over to Chris Ty, who has been talking with some folks who thought it was really important to meet the new mayor, Brandon Johnson, today. Chris?
Dana, in just a couple minutes, these folks are going to head up the elevators up to the 5th floor. These are the folks at the very front of the line. They're going to get the first meet and greet with the new mayor. But come with me as we head south here in City Hall. This gives you a little bit of perspective. How many people want to come and say hi to the new mayor? The mayor who is saying in that address today how he's the first mayor whose kids went to Chicago public schools. He's the first mayor to live in a community with a level of violence, and he's able to live a Chicago life unlike any mayor before him. Let's stop and talk to one of these folks to see what it is they're hoping to talk to the mayor about. Gentlemen, can we ask you a real quick question? Sure. What are you hoping to ask Mayor Johnson today?
No, I'm hoping to tell him what we need in our community, especially the far southwest side. I'm in the 21st ward, and it is now it's gone from our part of the ward. It's gone from the mighty 34th ward to the mighty 21st ward. We have the largest ward by mass. We have the largest black ward in the city, and we're also the largest ward by registered voters.
So you have a lot of things you want to get off your chest and chat with him about.
It's not just getting off our chest. He needs to fix the damage that now indicted Mayor Carrie Austin did. We're talking about black middle-class neighborhoods that were almost run to the ground because of her rise to seat and that ambition.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. These are some of the things that Brandon Johnson's going to be hearing. Some tough words in the first hour as mayor. We'll be here throughout the day to bring it back to you. Joe and Erica, back to you in the studio.
Okay, Chris, Dana, thank you.
Those of you watching us on CBS 2, we send you back now to regular programming.
Our coverage continues on our digital streaming network, CBS News Chicago, right now.
Does the line stop here, or does it go somewhere else?
So this is the end of the line.
Welcome back to our coverage of Inauguration Day for the 57th mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson.
Yeah, you've got a taste there of what Brandon Johnson is about to hear over at the open house at City Hall, which is going to begin any minute now. This isn't going to be all pleasantries. Right. There are folks lined up there who have, I'm sure, a list of things they want to discuss, because you don't really get a chance often to have a meet and greet with the mayor. This is an opportunity a lot of folks over there are taking advantage of.
Once they get into office, sometimes there's quite the distance between the constituents and the people they serve. serve. But let's go back out to Chris, I believe. Let's go to Chris, who was just speaking to that man there who was talking about his wants, his ward's needs. And Chris, what else are you hearing out there from people who are lined up to greet the mayor?
So here's what I'm hearing, Joe and Erica, that first of all, I want to point out to you, if you're watching this at home and you say, I want to be part of the Brandon Johnson open house, they have shut the doors. So essentially, this is the end of the line, but it is a healthy line, about 150 to 200 people by my kind of unscientific count. Come up with me here, Alan, and we're going to just look. This is kind of a perspective of who's here and who wants to talk to the mayor in a couple of minutes' time. And I just want to mention it here that these are the folks that are waiting to go up elevator car by elevator car. They will get their first crack at talking to Mayor Johnson. We should also point out that we learned late today that there's going to be an event at Daley Plaza around 3:30 today. Sort of an open stage is being constructed as we speak. Alan, just watch yourself here as we're doing this in live television here. This is how things flow. The folks who are waiting to get the first crack have actually already gone up. There was a gaggle of folks, and you can see the security here in the vestibule of City Hall. So a very active day. It was a quiet morning, but as the mayor made his way over here about, 45 minutes ago, things have animated. There's a number of things on his agenda. He's going to be signing some executive legislation. He's going to be meeting with these folks, and he's going to be moving over to Daley Plaza as a very busy day continues. These folks have a lot of things on their mind, as you heard just a few moments ago, and we'll talk with them and share their stories throughout the day here on CBS 2 and on the stream. Joe and Erica, back to you.
Okay, Chris, thank you.
Yeah, there's Dana right there. Dana, let's recap what was, in a way, sort of a part campaign speech, part victory speech, part pep rally.
Okay. Looks like we're having some difficulties with Dana's mic there. So Dana, we'll try and get back to you in just a moment. But Joe, while we work on that,
You were mentioning it. It was part campaign speech, part pep rally, part church service as well. There was definitely, eclectic and diverse element of people of faith there, including the imam who spoke, did a prayer, a rabbi, a Baptist preacher from the west side of the city of Chicago.
Yeah, all right, we have Dana's mic situation figured out. Let's go back to her. Dana?
Joe and Erica, so I was getting ready to recap here, and I couldn't hear everything that you guys were just saying, but really the bottom line is that Mayor Johnson needs to, after today, he needs to be ready to dive into these many issues that he does say he wants to take care of. First and foremost is public safety, but with that is employing teenagers, getting them jobs. When I talked with him back on the campaign trail in early February, I asked him, what will your first priority be? What will you do first that some people can see? What would be tangible? And he talked about jobs for teenagers. He has to figure out the CTA. He keeps talking about fixing it. Well, he needs to figure that out. And with that, of course, comes his promise during the campaign of giving students and seniors free rides. Well, is that going to be feasible? All of these things he needs to start tackling and working on with the city council. And the one thing that, struck me today is he turned around and he applauded the alderpersons on that stage with him, and he said, I will never doubt your commitment to your office or to the city. In other words, extending an olive branch to make sure he is collaborating with all of the aldermen or alder people who have now today taken office and who continue to serve the city of Chicago. That's a little bit of a different tone, and it's also something he said on the campaign trail, that he is willing to listen to everybody and listen to all viewpoints, and everyone can work together collaboratively to solve these many problems. But it certainly was a rousing speech today. There were, many rounds of applause. He used sense of humor at times, and, talked about his faith and talked about growing up in a large family with a pastor as a father. But he's ready to write, he says, a different story for Chicago moving forward. Joe and Erica.
Okay, our thanks to you, Dana, and Chris Ty as well. They will have much more on our news beginning at 4 o'clock.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Erica Sargent. Complete coverage of the inauguration coming up beginning on our news at 4.
Chicago is real. The people here are real, and they want their news to be real, I think.
We are doing something for our own community.
They're all busy. They're giving us a valuable resource, their time, and the trust they have in us to deliver the day's news in a real way. Laugh when you can, be serious when you need to. And that's alive and well on our set. We all get along great. We enjoy working with each other. You can't hide that, and it's on display every night.
The CBS 2 First Alert Weather Team keeps you prepared day and night. Start your day with meteorologist Laura Bannon.
Whether it's severe weather that can change your life or inconvenient weather that can change your day, you'll know before you head out the door.
And end your day with Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon.
We make sure you know what weather's headed your way tomorrow, so you'll be prepared before your head hits the pillow tonight.
Keeping you prepared around the clock. The First Alert Weather Team, only on CBS 2.
At the CBS Evening News, we focus on solutions. We look at a story and we say, how do we make it relevant to people's lives?
So this is what we eat to live longer.